the Roman Republic, a civilization built on law, order, and ambitious men. At its heart was the Senate, where elected officials debated and shaped the destiny of the Republic. The late Roman Republic was not an era of peace. The Republic was a powder keg of unrest, teetering on the edge of chaos. Ambitious generals vied for power, their legions casting long shadows over Rome's political landscape. Marcus Tullius Cicero was not a product of Rome's aristocracy. He hailed from a modest family, far removed from the city's corridors of power. Yet he possessed a keen intellect, a silver tongue, and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Born in Arpinum, Cicero's origins were modest, his family belonging to the equestrian order. This placed him firmly in the category of a novus homo, a new man in the ruthless arena of Roman politics. Yet Cicero possessed an unwavering self-belief, a conviction that his intellect and eloquence could shatter the barriers of tradition. His days were a whirlwind of activity, a relentless pursuit of political capital. The pursuit of power in ancient Rome was not for the faint of heart. It demanded unwavering dedication, strategic brilliance, and a constant awareness of the shifting sands of public opinion. Rome in the late Republic was a city of stark contrasts. Opulence and poverty existed side by side, the chasm between the haves and have-nots widening with each passing year. The common people, burdened by economic hardship and political disenfranchisement, craved a leader who understood their plight. Long before dawn kissed the 7 hills of Rome, Cicero's day had already begun. The relentless rhythm of Roman politics allowed for little rest, especially for a man of his ambition. His day was a carefully choreographed dance of social obligation and strategic maneuvering. Clients, the backbone of Roman politics. The clients who gathered outside Cicero's home each morning were a microcosm of Roman society. They came from all walks of life: wealthy landowners seeking legal advice, merchants hoping for favorable legislation, and humble plebeians in need of assistance. Navigating the social hierarchy. While the Salutatio provided Cicero with a platform to connect with the common people of Rome, he also had to navigate the treacherous waters of the Roman elite. Cicero, the new man, was acutely aware of the challenges his background posed. The heart of Rome. The Salutatio complete, Cicero would make his way to the Roman Forum, the vibrant heart of the city. This bustling expanse of temples, basilicas, and monuments wasn't merely a marketplace, it was the epicenter of Roman life. A lawyer's arena. For Cicero, the Forum was more than just a stage for political maneuvering. It was his arena as a lawyer. Having honed his skills defending a diverse clientele, he had earned a reputation as a formidable legal mind and a powerful orator. The case of Verres. On this particular day, the Forum buzzed with anticipation for a trial that had captivated the attention of Rome. Cicero was set to prosecute Gaius Verres, a former governor of Sicily accused of egregious corruption and cruelty during his time in office. A voice against corruption. As Cicero rose to speak, a hush fell over the Forum. His voice, clear and resonant, carried across the assembled crowd. After the intensity of the Forum and the passionate speeches against corruption, Cicero would retreat to his home on the Palatine Hill for a brief respite. The midday meal, or provided a momentary escape from the relentless pace of Roman politics. His home, although modest compared to the opulent residences of the aristocracy, was a sanctuary where he could gather his thoughts and recharge. The respite was short-lived, as Cicero's midday would soon be filled with meetings and discussions with key allies. These interactions were vital for solidifying his campaign strategy and ensuring the support of influential figures within the Senate and beyond. The political landscape of Rome was a labyrinthine network of alliances and rivalries, requiring constant navigation and negotiation. Midday provided an opportunity for Cicero to engage directly with his supporters and volunteers. These gatherings were crucial for maintaining momentum and morale. Cicero's ability to inspire and mobilize his supporters was one of his greatest strengths. He emphasized his commitment to justice, transparency, and the Republic's values. His rhetoric was designed to inform and galvanize, instilling a sense of purpose. Each supporter left with a renewed sense of mission, ready to advocate for Cicero. Strategic planning extended to organizing public events, speeches, and rallies. Cicero's team was well coordinated, with each member understanding their role. Logistics, security, and messaging were meticulously planned to ensure maximum impact. Cicero's public appearances were carefully choreographed to project strength and integrity. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the Roman Forum, Cicero's day was far from over. The evening brought with it a different kind of political arena, the opulent and often decadent world of Roman banquets. These elaborate gatherings, hosted by Rome's most powerful figures, were more than just social events. They were carefully orchestrated displays of wealth, influence, and political maneuvering. For Cicero, navigating these social gatherings was as crucial as his time spent in the Forum. While the courts and public speeches provided a platform for legal battles and fiery rhetoric, banquets offered a more intimate setting for cultivating relationships, forging alliances, and subtly advancing his political agenda. These gatherings were a sensory overload designed to impress and overwhelm. Guests reclined on luxurious couches, entertained by musicians, dancers, and poets. The air was thick with the scent of incense and roasted meats, the tables groaning under the weight of elaborate dishes showcasing rare ingredients procured from every corner of the Roman world. Cicero, ever mindful of the power of perception, approached these events with a calculated blend of charm and restraint. He understood that every conversation, every gesture, every interaction was an opportunity to solidify his standing, assess his rivals, and subtly sway opinions in his favor. Roman banquets were governed by a complex set of social rules and rituals, a silent language of etiquette and hierarchy that Cicero had mastered over years of careful observation and practice. Seating arrangements were meticulously planned, reflecting the social standing and political influence of each guest. To be placed near the host was a sign of great favor, while those relegated to the periphery were clearly considered less important. The conversation flowed as freely as the wine, ranging from lighthearted banter and philosophical discussions to pointed debates about current events and political intrigue. Cicero, with his sharp wit and encyclopedic knowledge, was a master of this verbal sparring, capable of charming his allies, disarming his critics, and subtly planting seeds of doubt in the minds of his opponents. Amidst the revelry and indulgence, Cicero never lost sight of his objectives. He understood that these gatherings were opportunities to gather intelligence, assess the loyalty of his supporters, and identify potential weaknesses in his rivals. Every whispered conversation, every knowing glance, every subtle shift in allegiance was a piece of the puzzle, a clue to be deciphered in the ongoing game of Roman politics. He would deftly steer conversations towards topics that played to his strengths, highlighting his legal victories, his eloquence in the Senate, and his unwavering commitment to the Republic's ideals. He knew that reputation was paramount in Roman society, and these informal gatherings provided fertile ground for shaping perceptions and influencing opinions. Roman banquets were often the setting for forging new alliances and solidifying existing ones. Over flowing cups of wine and delectable dishes, deals were struck, promises were made, and political futures were decided. Cicero, known for his integrity and his ability to build bridges between different factions, was a sought-after ally. However, he was also cautious, aware that the allegiances formed over a shared meal could be as fleeting as the smoke from the incense burners. He carefully considered each overture, weighing the potential benefits against the risks. To align himself too closely with one faction could alienate others, jeopardizing his carefully constructed web of support. Yet he also understood that to achieve his goals, he could not stand alone. He needed the support of influential figures who could champion his cause in the Senate, rally public opinion, and provide financial backing for his campaigns. The Banquets, with their air of intimacy and shared purpose, provided the perfect setting for cultivating these relationships. As the evening wore on, and the effects of the wine loosened tongues and emboldened ambitions, Cicero would often make a strategic exit, gracefully withdrawing from the revelry before it descended into drunken debauchery. He knew that his reputation for moderation and self-control was as valuable as his oratorical skills, setting him apart from many of his more indulgent peers. As Cicero made his way home through the darkened streets of Rome, his mind raced with thoughts of the day's events and the challenges that lay ahead. The weight of his ambition, the burden of his principles, pressed upon him like the stones of the Forum. Yet, amidst the weariness, a flicker of hope remained, fueled by his unwavering belief in the ideals of the Republic and his own ability to shape its destiny. He had witnessed firsthand the corruption that threatened to erode the very foundations of Roman society, the greed and ambition that poisoned the hearts of men. But he had also experienced the unwavering support of the common people, their yearning for justice, their belief in the promise of a better tomorrow. Cicero's vision for Rome was one of restored integrity, a republic where the rule of law prevailed over personal gain, where the voices of the people carried weight in the halls of power, and where the ideals of justice and fairness served as guiding principles. He knew that achieving this vision would require more than eloquent speeches and strategic alliances. It demanded unwavering courage, a willingness to confront powerful interests, and an unyielding commitment to the pursuit of the greater good, even when it meant risking his own career, his own safety, his own life. The pursuit of power, even with the noblest of intentions, exacted a heavy toll. Cicero's days were a relentless cycle of public appearances, legal battles, and political maneuvering. The line between his public persona and his private life blurred, leaving little room for rest or reflection. The constant pressure and scrutiny of his rivals wore on him. Moments of doubt and temptation urged him to retreat to his family and books. But the fire within him, the belief in his abilities, and his conviction banished these doubts. He had come too far to abandon his ambition now. The weight of his ambition was a burden he carried willingly, for the fate of Rome rested in his hands. Cicero's story is a testament to the power of determination, the enduring strength of the human spirit when driven by conviction, and a belief in a cause greater than oneself. He may have been a new man in the rigid hierarchy of Roman society, but he rose to become one of the most influential figures of his time, his name forever etched in the annals of history. His legacy is not without its complexities and contradictions. He was a man of his time, shaped by the social and political realities of the late Roman Republic. Yet his unwavering belief in the power of reason, his eloquence in defense of justice, and his unwavering commitment to the ideals of the Republic continue to resonate centuries later. Cicero's words, preserved in his speeches, letters, and philosophical treatises, have inspired generations of thinkers, leaders, and reformers. His insights into the nature of power, the importance of civic duty, and the fragility of democratic institutions remain as relevant today as they were in the tumultuous world of ancient Rome. As we look back on the life and career of Marcus Tullius Cicero, we are reminded that one person's determination, fueled by a vision for a better future, can indeed shape the course of history. His story serves as a powerful reminder that the fight for justice, for equality, and for the preservation of democratic ideals is a timeless one, a fight that continues to this day.